Do you know who is Mileva Maric Ruzic? Do you know who is Albert Einstein? Yes, I suppose that you know who was Einstein. Einstein was the most important physicist from the last century. Even some people think that he was the most relevant physicist that the humanity has had, for his revolutionary works about the space-time and gravity. Do you know this equation? If not, I know that you have seen it in some place. But returning to our main topic, what about Mileva? If I told you Mileva Einstein, maybe you already have one idea about her. As you know, Leslie Waifes got the last name of her husband when they got married. So yes, Mileva was a wife of Einstein. Actually, she was the first wife of Einstein. But here, we won't see to Mileva from have been wife of Einstein. Here, we're going to know who was Mileva and why we should know her. So, who was Mileva? Her name, Mileva Maric Ruzic, was a mathematics and physics very important. Mileva was born in Titel, Serbia, in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, today at the region of Serbia in 1875. She was growing up in a rich family, being her very intelligent but a bit non-talkative. She was very ingoing when she was a child. She was very shy, even a teacher said that she was like a phenomenon. For her age, that a woman study and more specific study maths and physics, it was very difficult. It was only for men. But her father got to her a permission to she finished her high school, where with only boys she finished and she got the highest grade of her class. After that, she moved to Zurich, Switzerland, to study in the Polytechnic Institute College. She started to study maths and physics. What's in that place? Because it was the few places in Europe where women were allowed to study maths. But what happened in that institute? She met to Albert Einstein, and quickly they fall in love. They were finished to their studies, but there was a problem. Einstein's family didn't accept to Mileva. His mother said that her son couldn't stay with a woman who only studied. He needed a woman that served him at home, as a well housewife. But Einstein didn't give importance, and when they were finished their PhD, Mileva got pregnant. In that case, Mileva had the highest grades for the written exam, but the oral exam she couldn't do it. Einstein didn't it and he got the PhD in physics. The first son is a mystery because people say that they got that son in adoption for the hardest economical situation which they lived. After that, they got married in 1903. Here was when the Mileva life started. After that, she moved to Heidelberg University, the most important university in Berlin in Germany. And here started the history of her, the interesting things. She studied at Heidelberg working with one of the great pioneers quantum physics working in the photoelectric and Bernoulli effect. It was a big work that they with Einstein developed. By Einstein signed it in the final document, so the mention was for Einstein. The curious thing is that Mileva and Einstein communicated through letters, and in those letters they were found loosely. It has helped us to know who were their relationships. For this way, we discovered that some works for Einstein, Mileva also had participation. But was a letter that Mileva sent to her friends. That it said, "Recently, we finished a very important work that is going to be worldly famous to my husband." What did she mean? Which was that work? That work was when in 1905 Einstein published their works, but the mainly important was the theory of the relativity, in an age called Annus Mirabilis from Albert. That famous equation, E is equal to mc squared, that says that energy is equal to the mass by the speed of light squared like a constant, because that speed is the only absolute at the universe. Other speeds are relatives, and the same with the time. After that, Mileva came to Zurich. They had two sons, and the problem started until they got divorced in 1919. In that divorce, there was a curious clause. It said that Einstein had to give her the money from the Nobel Prize. Yes, in 1921, Einstein won the Nobel Prize and he gave her the money. After that, Mileva, with one of the sons, had some economical problem. She had to get by alone for some time until she died in 1948. Women like Mileva have a sit-alone history, and for testing, some of them have been attenuated. So we might make invisible to talent women that history has attenuated.